It's Chris Jenkins for CharlotteVibe.com. Here reporting on the Charlotte Hornets, who unfortunately are out of the NBA playoffs. They had a really tough game, Game 7 that was down in Miami. I didn't feel good about this game before it went to there. This is not a I told you so type of thing. It's just the fact that you got to remember, Miami Heat has won 3 NBA championships. They have a key player from there still on the team with Dwayne Wade. And they also are coached by the same guy who took them to 2 of those 3 championships and their exposure. So just a very, very tough matchup for the Hornets. Kemba Walker only had 9 points, definitely had his worst game of the playoffs when it counted the most. And the final score in this one was 73-106, so it was a pretty bad loss, but it was a good season overall. This team, you like to say they have a lot to build on, but you really can't say that, unfortunately, because there's a lot of uncertainty around this team. You have a lot of players that have expiring contracts, such as Batum, Lee, Jefferson, and Williams are all key players that have contracts that are expiring. Of that group, you like to think that the rumor mill says that Batum is a really big priority. He was the second leader scorer on this team in the regular season, had those injuries in the playoffs. So I'd like to believe that's a pretty good thing that the Hornets can consider Batum a priority to re-sign. And then Jeremy Lin, he has an option. I did read something that says that he is likely to opt out. I really don't know why that would be the case. Jeremy Lin is really a guy that just loves to play basketball. Seems like he's a guy that doesn't want to just bounce around. He's past that point in his career and he just wants to be in a solid place where he has a good role in it. I think he has one of those great roles here in Charlotte and he enjoyed playing with him a lot. So with that uncertainty, we can't say, or I can't predict how much on the rise this team is, but it seems like they're in the right direction because one thing that I do love, Coach Clifford, he has shown good results on the floor, but off the floor, I tell you guys, listen to this coach talk, you're a believer in that he knows what he's doing. He certainly has had a record to show that 2 of the 3 past seasons they have been in the playoffs. So that's my take on it. It was a really good season by the Charlotte Hornets. I'm excited for the city as a whole, just having a team and the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs, and then the Charlotte Hornets, who went from, you guys got to give them a lot of credit. They hadn't won a playoff game in 12 years. They won 3 in a row, had Miami up against their heels 3-2. So in terms of, I want to backtrack for 1 second before I close out and talking about the future. They had player exit interviews today, and Al Jefferson was asked about his future, and he mentioned that he would like to close out his career here in Charlotte, but he does realize that it is a business and that might not be enough. And my take on the Al Jefferson thing is he'll have to do like a Charles Johnson type of thing where they don't have to release him because his contract is expiring, but he'd have to go for like a veteran's minimum to come back, because you could tell these past 2 years, being a big man, that he's breaking down. He's not going to be the same player, but you might be able to play him with some occasion, if kind of like the way that Greg Popovich does his guys. So even though we don't have the depth, but that's the kind of way that you would go to approach with Al Jefferson. So you guys have followed me throughout the season. I appreciate it. If you have any comments, leave them below, like this video, and also subscribe, because as the news breaks during the off season, I will put a YouTube video up and you'll be able to get those right away if you do subscribe to the channel. This is Chris Jenkins reporting for CharlotteVibe.com.